What's up, nerds? Back with another video. Been a hot minute since I've done a voiceover vlog, and so we're gonna get a little bit into summer today. So wanted to do a little realistic, wake up morning, wake up. Yeah, I'm trying to do better about it, but I can't help it. Sometimes, I just check the phone. But that's because today, specifically, at least in this video, I had some podcasts to listen to. So throw on the headphones, start listening to the podcast. After that, you already know, wake up, get the morning sun in. It's been a little bit rainy, a little bit these last couple days, but this day, at least of the vlog, was nice and sunny. And it's always a good day when I wake up and make an eBay sale. So come on into the Big Box O eBay products. At least this is the one that's downstairs. Got the other eBay stuff upstairs. And I wanted to send out the product that's in the better condition of the two. So got that all together. And then for my eBay packaging stuff, I like to use priority mailboxes. It's just so nice. You get the 2-day to 3-day shipping, you get tracking, and it's just, it gets there real effing quick. Really quick. So real simple way to package. I just take my old Amazon packaging stuff, flip it inside out, and the nice thing as well about the priority boxes is that it's okay if they are slightly oversized. The post office doesn't care if they're bending at the edges a little bit. So I kind of just stuff this bad boy to the absolute max, tape it up. It's got self-sealing tape on there. I've got my little handwritten letter that I write, telling them that I appreciate their package and, thank you for buying from me, because I don't do eBay for a living. Maybe one day, but for now, I just do eBay just as a way to get, some spare change on the side here and there. So have my little handwritten letter, and then you can see that my package is kind of bursting at the seams a little bit. So I make sure to tape it down real good, make sure to tape up the sides so that no water can get in, and then bada bing, bada boom, throw my letter on top, and we're good to go. And so for my shaving routine, which I included in this, right, because it doesn't look like I've got like an insane beard, so I figured, hey, let's just go over it real quick. So I've got my Manscaped shaver. Well, I've got kind of clippers, regular clippers. Then I've got the next level down, which is the Manscaped shavers. And then I've got the next level down from that, which is an Norelco one blade. And then I've got the final level, which I personally love. They sell in 40 packs, the tattoo shaver, I call it. And it's basically a 2-blade. It's a couple use shaver, but they sell them in packs of 40, and I usually only use them, if you had an intense beard, you'd only use it 2 or 3 times, but because I shave, fairly recently, I can get away with using one probably 5 or 6 times before any buildup, and then after that, just some nice water, warm water to wipe it all off, pat down, and then what you don't see is I end up using lotion afterwards. And so first on the list of when I leave the house, head over to the gym, because I'm going to go out and send my eBay stuff. So I might as well go out and do my gym first. After I do my gym, head over to the post office. Well, I'm sorry. First, I got to head over to the library in this case, because I had to print out some stuff, a shipping label. Then head over to the post office to ship that out. And now it's back and it's time to cook. So this vlog is a little less of kind of the daily routine stuff, less day by day stuff. And instead I'm focusing on kind of the food, the diet, and some of the outside stuff that we'll get to after this, part of the food is done. So basically my main 4 things for diet, are protein, meats, vegetables, which is kind of broken down into two spots. And then I've got kind of like dessert kind of stuff, and I'm trying, and like drinks, I guess. I had a fourth one and I forgot it. So in this video, you could see I've got two different things going. So, well, I guess breakfast, kind of eggs, kind of. So in this video, I've got my eggs going right now. However, you can see on the other side on the pan, I've got my combo of garlic, onions, and ham protein that I'm going to be cooking. And I'm making this around 11 o'clock. This is sort of like a post-workout meal, but, you know, it's not necessarily like, I mean, I use a little bit of cheese in there as well to kind of seal it all together. You know, I guess maybe a traditional, quote unquote, traditional post-workout protein meal might include some sort of shake to maximize the, you know, amount of protein that you're having, to maximize the amount of protein your body will ingest. But for me, the important thing I want to talk about was just, you know, the type of food. I've got the eggs, nice locally farm fresh eggs, got a bunch of garlic, a bunch of onions, and no salt butter. Take all of that, put that all together, and then afterwards, because I can't, I'm doing my best to cut out bread. You know, it's obviously not happening quickly, right? If I do bread, I try to do as least, you know, quote unquote, bad stuff as I can, right? So in this case, I just have little, you know, taco shells. They are corn tortilla. They've got enriched flour, so I know it's not the best, you know, stuff that you can have. However, it's better these, you know, two little tortillas than having a whole bunch of bread with my meal. And so that's, you know, kind of the first meal of the day. And then after that, we're going to go with some more straight protein stuff, and I will let Past Luke take care of that. Okay, so we have the air fryer warmed up. I've prepared and marinated the salmon. So just going to go over real quick what it was. So first you dry the whole salmon off with a paper towel. Then after that, you take fork and poke everything. And the marinade that I put it in was a 50-50 blend of Bachan's teriyaki sauce and low sodium soy sauce. And so then I put it face down into the marinade, right? And I also did a bit of covering on the back end of it, obviously. And then after that, I take some olive oil. I already got the thing I'm going to put in the air fryer. Already put it, got everything all set. And then I chopped up half a garlic clove, or half a full thing of garlic, I'm sorry, I should say. So now we're going to take this whole thing and just throw this right in there. And then we're going to take some of our garlic and just kind of put it on top. And just kind of rub that in a little bit. I washed my hands before I did all of this, so don't worry. And so now I'm going to cook this at 400 for about 8 to 10 minutes. And then after that 8 to 10 minutes, I'm going to take it out and put a cheese crust on top. So let's take this. Boom. All right. And let's put that on that. Oh my lord. Oh. Oh my goodness. All right, what's up, nerds? Back with another creative stuff video, creative thing making update video. So, I have two 3D printed Iron Banner Destiny helmets, Titan Destiny helmets, that I'm going to be securing the horns to today. And then, in addition to that, I've got a double backpack saber hilt thing that we are going to be working on. So we're going to cut the sabers to length, and well, not cut the sabers to length yet, but dimension everything out, cut everything out, maybe do some painting, because I think what I'm going to do is because I want to be able to take the sabers themselves out and leave the holster, backpack, whatever, together. But I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work out, because I'm not sure how the paint is going to scratch if I take it out. So I might have to make it so you have to undo the straps, which, again, I kind of don't want to do, because I'm going to have to then deal with the extra straps and that part every single time. So you're going to have to unstrap the 4 of these buckles every time you want to take these out. And then you're going to have the empty containers, or the empty area. So basically what I'm doing right now is thinking about putting the hilts inside of this, or put a hilt holder inside of these, so that you can just kind of work it like that. I probably won't end up doing that, because I'm going to have something on top to keep it in which case you're going to have to reach all the way back, instead of, you might be able to just reach higher up. I don't know, we'll see. But those are the two projects I've got right now. So first things first, I've got some semi-epoxy, it's not actually epoxy, that we're going to use to put the horns on the helmet, and then we're going to do a little bit of measuring out for the hilts over there. So, let's get started. All right, so you heard the man. It's time to get started on these helmets, and first things first is, off camera, I broke open this tube that was half trashed, because it was open on the back end, and so I had to break it in half so I could get to the good stuff. And so this is an all-purpose, caulking glue kind of thing, and instead of just having it kind of useless, because I really don't know what I would do with half of a bottle of used caulk adhesive stuff. So I was like, well, hey, it's better than nothing. I could use super glue, but this stuff is pretty damn close to super glue. And it's nice because it's all weather, and I know how to work with it. And so I've got these two Iron Banner helmets. I scraped down and did a little bit of sanding on one helmet. I didn't do really much sanding on the other helmet. I was just kind of curious to see which one would come out better. And it was really simple. So, because we're going to be spray painting all of these things later, then we're going to be making wooden mounts for them. One of them, I've got LED lights that I'm going to install inside of. The other one, I'm kind of just going to mount as is. Maybe I might get LED lights for it, but the person that I'm going to be giving it to, they really wouldn't, for them, they would have to go turn on all of the stuff in this place is going to be, and then go over to the helmet and then turn on the LED lights in the helmet. And I'm not trying to like install something crazy like a motion sensor that's then hooked into the LED lights into it. So I might just kind of mount it up nice and then give it to them as is. But so ended up doing these Iron Banner helmets, which I talked about. But then in addition to that, we did a third Iron Banner helmet. I actually put that top part on backwards. So now in post, I got to go back into there. That top part where the hole funnels downwards, that hole is actually supposed to be on top, even though it looks like it would fit really nicely as it is, and it looks like the top of the helmet kind of fits in like that. And so this was a helmet that I got off Etsy, like a full print. I didn't realize that at the time, because the 3 photos it had, or 4 photos it had online, 2 of them showed 2 or 3 had the full helmet, and then the last photo had the helmet all in pieces as it was delivered. And so I'm sitting to myself here thinking, I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to put this thing together? Like, so I had it sitting around for forever, and I was like, oh, well, if I'm going to be doing all of this, helmet stuff, I might as well, do the other helmet. And so this is just obviously very temporary, mainly just getting all the pieces together so that when I super glue it all together, well, I'm basically going to super glue it all from the inside first. And then after that, I can see about doing all the outside parts and then, removing the glue, or not removing the glue, removing the tape, I should say. But yeah, I mean, it worked, put it together. All the blue pieces helped keep it together without it breaking. After that, do a little test fit, because part of this helmet, the point of me getting it was so that I could give it to my friend to cosplay with, because this is the same class that he plays in Destiny. So I got him a Destiny helmet that he can cosplay in. So a nice little taste or fit check. For me, it doesn't exactly fit great because of the ponytail in the back. And after that, we're moving on to the next creative aspect of the video. And that is some of the farming sustainability projects. So we've got, we, meaning me, I've got the, lightsaber stuff, the helmet stuff, different, kind of nerd projects, different creative things like that. However, when I'm not doing that kind of creative stuff, nerd stuff like that, the other thing that I'm doing is building various sorts of farming stuff, various sorts of sustainability projects. This one is kind of a combo of the 2 of those. So instead of doing a irrigation system that's centered near my house, because this is going to be spliced into the irrigation anyway. So I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to, if I'm going to have storage for water, let me at least do, make it so the storage won't get overheated, or the sun won't, blast it all because it's all food safe plastic, right? It all should be good in the heat. It all should be good to hold water. But I figure, hey, if I'm going to have this thing sitting in the sun all day with the water for my plants, let me not have it in direct sunlight, because this can get hundreds of degrees. And again, I don't think it's going to melt like crazy, but I don't want to take that risk. So the project for this was building a water jug holding little food planter thing. I don't really think there's a name for it. I think it's just kind of the description. Because who sells these things? No one sells these things. You got to make them. You got to have this stuff. So it was literally just a simple essentially just a box, because all this stuff is going on the ground. So I didn't need to worry about, putting it on any sort of supports or anything like that. I didn't need to worry about like insane structural integrity, because you could see on the ground behind me the plastic planter. It's its own thing. Like if it fails structurally, I could just buy a new one and put it down. And so I sealed it up with some nice boat sealing, white boat sealing stuff. Obviously white compared to black reflects a lot of heat, reflects a lot of light. So I'm going to end up putting a roof on top of this little thing, and the water jugs are inside of it in the shade, but just to get some extra, solar reflective capability, painting it, white with this. And, we'll see how the rest of this progresses. So this is just, this is just the container. Obviously, we've got the actual gardening itself. So you can see I switched clothes. I went inside for lunch and switched over to my painter gear, so I didn't have to worry about slapping myself with white. This is essentially like rubber sealing paint, essentially. And I was like, okay, I don't want to risk ruining, because I actually really like that dashiki and I like those pants. And I got a little bit of stuff on it, and I actually just did the laundry, and I managed to get it off of those pants, the tan pants. So that was nice. But I didn't want to risk it any further. So finished sealing it up, and then we're going to end up moving it over into the front area of the house, where it's going to be for, whoever knows how long. At least I don't plan on selling or leaving this house, so it'll probably be here until the end of time, or the paint, rubber paint sealant stuff needs to be replaced. And so I ended up doing a kind of like ghetto little pad thing underneath, and it's fun watching this in fast motion, because basically what I was doing is I just cleared out this corner of all of the grass and dirt, and then put down a bunch of rocks so that there would be some sort of some sort of like drainage area, something, or at least my goal. We'll see how it goes, right? But my goal is to not have to deal with as many weeds in this corner. And so just kind of measure things out. I went stopped by Home Depot. It was about, for this whole project, I had the wood, and I paid for the paint, the stones, and the cinder blocks. So I think the whole thing together was about $150. Maybe if you had to buy the wood, it would be maybe it would bump it up to $175, something like that. I already had the water containers, because I drink 5-gallon waters at home, and I keep all of those and I disinfect them when I'm done with those. So my battery on the phone ends up dying and overheating because the sun was hot as hell. So that's kind of the setup right there. You can see I got the water jugs in the back. That's it, with the dirt filled up and the little roof on it. And in the future, we're going to be doing some more farming stuff, some more outdoor content, and that's kind of just a little bit of a random vlog of all sorts of stuff.